Yeah, let's just start right there. Right? Well, we don't. We play Memphis, so that's that'll be, I mean, I'm sure that's what everyone wants to talk about. But Mark and I were talking before the show, and boom, we got on the plane, so we haven't had a chance to talk yet. But we know a lot about Memphis. I watched them quite a bit. And, we had the opportunity to watch them on the plane, and holy cow, are they athletic, and they get after you defensively. We know that from last year, and they got a lot of those guys that we played last year, and they were a really, really good team when we played them, and they're better now, and they went through a little bit of a rough stretch early and solved a lot of problems, and now they're playing great basketball.
Can you recap the last few hours for you guys, and how did you find out? Where did you find out? What were you doing when you guys heard about that?
We were stuck in that. It was funny because, Max had texted me earlier in the week and said, I just found out we're going to get in 30 minutes before a selection show. And I said, it'll all work out. It'll be fine. Well, we'll get an escort. We'll get down to little did I know that we'd be all watching a selection show on a computer in the Vegas airport. Another one of those so what now what moments. You just figure it out. And so it was really neat. And we were the first group to pop up. We're like, whoa, that was it. Let's go. And jumped on the plane and came home. But our guys are excited. It's a special day. Selection Sunday is, and to be one of the teams selected, even though we knew we were selected because of the automatic qualifier, but it's still a special moment when you see that name come up on the board.
Memphis knocked you guys out last year in the NIT, so what do you remember most about facing that Memphis team, and have you seen it all this year?
Yeah. Like I said, I got the chance to watch them on our crack staff put together some film, and we had some on the plane, and so you get ahead of things right away. And first of all, they're super athletic. And they get after the ball really hard. And they, remember the first half down there in the NIT, I think we probably were going to set a school record for turnovers in that first half because of them. And that's what they're doing. They can disrupt the game and really not let you do what you're trying to do and try to play it on their terms. But then they make up for any mistakes they make with their extreme athleticism. And then one of the best rebounding teams in the country too. So all those things, make for tough sledding against them.
You guys went 27-7, win your conference tournament. Were you surprised that you were only an 8 seed?
I haven't analyzed it that quickly. Yeah. We just it popped up, like I said. Then we grabbed some film. We're on the plane, and so I haven't even seen a bracket yet to tell you, to really look at it. So it's a different experience that way. Usually, kind of have that stuff in front of you, analyze it all. And so I don't know who's where and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's just all, And again, we're not going to get caught up in any of that. This team's done a good job at that, and what does it really matter? There's not one place that you could be and you're going to go, oh, that the team we're playing, so, where everybody in that tournament is good, and every team's going to have it. You got to play great basketball from here on out, which that's the way it's been for us in the last month. It seems like so. It'll be nothing different.
Having that chip on the shoulder, though, I mean, is this a team that might thrive in a role like that where they maybe want to prove they should have been a better seed, or?
I think it's just naturally the way we play. That's how we, that's how our guys kind of approach things. And, so, I don't know if that at this time of year you shouldn't need extra. These guys are in the NCAA tournament. Now it's win or go home. So. That's enough motivation in itself. Because like I said, this team is a team that they'd like to keep playing for a long, long time.
This team has had some tough games in the Mountain West Tournament also during the season as well. How do you think that bodes well? Because you're going to have a tough game in the tournament. Some teams would have had an easy win and maybe get blown out. I think Memphis lost by 20 today in the finals. So if you've had so many tough games down to the wire, how much is that going to
I just think that hardens you as a team and gets you a little more comfortable in those games. So if you are in the, I mean, you know, you've seen it all along, Bob. We're pretty comfortable in those situations because we know nothing else. So I think that does help you.
It did seem like the video we saw when you guys were announced, the players clapped right away. There was no like 0-8. Like, didn't seem like they cared that much.
No. They don't. They just, it's like I said, it's just a special. I mean, getting in is really special because it's really hard. I mean, look at all the good teams that don't get in, and you look at the list. Usually every year you can go through that NIT like last year. I mean, you saw Memphis last year. They were in the NIT, and they were, you know, there's a lot of NCAA worthy teams in the NIT and a lot of good ones. And so, you know, to get your name called, no matter how it, you know, whether it's automatic qualifier or at large, it's a really special day, and it's a special honor, and it's a, you know, something these guys are worthy of because they've earned it. And so it's, you know, pretty exciting that way.
From a fan standpoint, Portland's the closest city to
that's,
play. Do you think that will help a turnout? And,
I think that's great. And you know, that was really my only keeping my fingers. You know, nothing else really mattered. I didn't care about seed. But I didn't really want to go all the way across the country to Buffalo. I think that was one of the sites, and so that's what I was keeping my fingers crossed. So no, we you know, I mean, people can jump in a car and get to Portland. Yeah, that's doable. I mean, if you know Jay Tusk can drive all the way to Vegas, it's easy to drive to Portland. That's a 7-hour. So yeah, and you know, having Northwest fans and that kind of thing, that's pretty cool.
With all due respect, I only drove halfway. We'll have the other half.
That away, Will. Sorry.
Yeah, right? With this is a little bit different than the last few times you've gone. I mean, we were already booking travel and leaving tomorrow by.
Oh yeah.
So how does this just differ a little bit, where you have at least a second to get your feet under you before you?
Well, there was a part of me too that I was like, I hope we can play on Friday. You know, we just got back, and we might have enough time to do some laundry. I think so. You know, and other teams that, you know, like the WCC team is. They played like 12 days ago, it seems like. I mean, by the time they play again. And so, you know, it's a quick turnaround. I mean, we'll have one day to kind of get our bearings, and then we're leaving Tuesday. So away we go.
It's also a 10:45 a.m. tip-off. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? That's pretty early.
Yeah. Love it. That's terrific time.
That was good. Yeah.
Awesome.